Good morning, San Diego. Welcome to Operation American Dream. I'm Eve Nasby, and as usual, we have an incredible show for you today. Did you know that 28,000 military folks, spouses, families here in San Diego every month don't have enough food to get by? We're going to talk to Jim Flores from the San Diego Food Bank to tell us what he's doing to solve that problem. We also have Say San Diego, and one of my most favorite topics is kids. And what are kids doing to help our veterans during this holiday season? You'll find out. Keep watching. And also we have Maurice Wilson. Who doesn't know Maurice Wilson from Reboot? He's going to be here to talk about how you can effectively and healthily transition. Don't go away. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. As promised, we have the one and only Jim Flores from the San Diego Food Bank with us. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You are doing incredible work. Everybody's talking about this food drive you're doing for the holidays, but I think many people don't realize what's behind that. We have this awareness during the holidays that it's a good idea to give, and that's what we want to do. But to whom are we given, and in what kind of volume? And I think the statistics are staggering for me. So talk a little bit about what you do and how you do it and how much you do it.
Well, we have a saying that hunger has no season, so people are just as hungry in the spring as they are during the holidays. But budgets are stretched a little tired during the holidays, so there's more hardship for these families. What people are really surprised to learn, about 1 in 6 people in San Diego County, that's about 465,000 people, are termed food insecure.
1 in 6?
1 in 6. So
what does food insecure mean?
It means that they don't have a reliable source of food and really don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Families?
Families.
Kids, elderly?
Yeah, people tend to think that our service population is primarily the homeless. It is not. I mean, we do serve the homeless, but the term most commonly used for our service population is the working poor.
Wow.
So these are people who are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to earn a living, but they're struggling to make ends meet. They're struggling to put food on the table, and most importantly, they're struggling to put nutritious food on the table.
Wow. And Jim, our program reaches into the veteran community, the veteran population, and I think what broke my heart was the statistics around how many of our veterans and our spouses and the families are experiencing hardship. So please tell our viewers about that.
Well, in our entirety as an agency, the San Diego Food Bank is feeding about 370,000 people a month. Wow. Of that service population, we're serving about 28,000 active duty military, their dependents and veterans every month. And I think that is shocking to many people, that you have active duty military who are defending our country, working hard, or maybe assigned overseas, yet their family back home can't put food on the table.
You know, that's a shame on us as a country, but you guys are coming alongside of these families and holding their arms up. So tell us about that program, because I know that these people need your help. So how are you literally doing that for them?
Well, there's a lot of hardship among those families, and also there's about a 30% unemployment rate among the spouses of active duty military because of the mobile nature of the military. So it's hard for that, get that second income, and you're living in San Diego and you're making maybe $25,000, $30,000, $35,000 a year. So how do we do it? Well, we do direct food distributions. We do about 175 of those each month countywide, serving the entire community. Many of those are with military partners. We also provide food to more than 400 nonprofit partners, and of those, Armed Services YMCA, USO, Brother Benno's, Military Outreach Ministries. So we're working in partnership with these agencies to provide them the food they need to then again serve their service population.
So they're distributing the food that they can get from the San Diego Food Bank to these needy families.
Right.
Tell us about the children on those bases, in those schools, that I think our viewers need to hear.
Probably one of the most surprising things that I learned when I first came to the food bank about 4 years ago. We have children in our community, elementary age school kids, and their last meal of the week is on Friday. And they get fed at school. It's a free and reduced lunch program. It's a federal program, Title I school. These kids eat lunch on Friday, and then they won't eat all weekend, or eat very little all weekend until they come back to school on Monday. So to combat that, we have our Food for Kids backpack program, where we give these kids a nutritious backpack of food on Friday, gets them through the weekend. Monday morning, they come back, turn in the empty backpack. Next Friday, we do it all over again. Well, we have 2 backpack schools on Camp Pendleton. So that's really the military population.
That just breaks my heart. And you know what, with the kids too, we were talking about this before, is they can't think when they get to school. If they haven't eaten, then you mentioned they can't sleep. And so now they're going Saturday, Sunday without eating, without sleeping, expecting to show up on Monday and have their wits about them and be ready to learn?
There's a saying in the food bank world, if you don't eat, you can't learn. If you don't learn, you can't earn, right? So people think we're just feeding people, but we're actually trying to break the cycle of poverty. And we think one of the major vehicles for breaking the cycle of poverty is education. And childhood education starts with childhood nutrition. So you have kids who aren't eating before school, aren't eating over the weekend. Their brains literally aren't developing because of their lack of nutrition, cognitive development, a lot of issues with poor nutrition at a young age. So a lot of these kids aren't even capable of really getting that education, which means they're not going to get a good job, not going to be able to support their families, and they're going to be dependent on the food bank. So that's the cycle of poverty right there. So the San Diego Food Bank is really trying to break that cycle of poverty.
It goes so much deeper than giving a can of food to somebody. And what you're doing is really changing the way people think and the way they behave to give them a better life through the San Diego Food Bank.
Right. You know, we're San Diego's Food Bank. We're a completely local organization. We're determining need and problems, and we're creating programs to try to combat that. So we're working on the college hunger, and there's a group up in
college hunger. I mean, starving students. Come on, we ate top ramen, but it goes deeper than that.
Yeah, the starving student story is not so cute anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas a group that we're going to start working with up at Cal State San Marcos, and it's a component of the university that's really just educating veterans, and they have a food pantry, and they're struggling to have enough food for their food pantry for these veterans who are trying to get an education to be able to, you know, live a full life. So now we're going to partner with them, provide them with food as well.
Wow, I feel like I want to talk to you for another 30 minutes. This is incredible. Tell us how we can help you, not only as a community, but you also mentioned some corporate programs.
We have all kinds of great ways to tell your viewers. Go on SanDiegoFoodBank.org. We have events. We have all kinds of things that we can do. We can take $1 and leverage that into 5 meals because of our huge volunteer base, because of our food we buy in bulk, our food donations. So I don't know a nonprofit that can take a donor dollar that far.
We have 20,000 volunteers a
We
year.
have 20,000 volunteers, 25,000 volunteer visits. It's an integral part of our supply chain. We have volunteers in 6 days a week. So that's a big part of what we're doing. But we have a virtual food drive online, so people can actually go online, buy food on our behalf. They can volunteer, they can host a food drive. Every little bit can make a difference. Everybody can make an impact in our community, and no one should go to bed hungry.
Jim, you are an amazing individual, spearheading an incredible organization, and I'm so blessed to know you. Thank you for being a part of our show. To our viewers, please go online right now and donate, volunteer, do whatever you can, because our veterans and this community need your help. We'll be right back with more of Operation American Dream. Don't go away. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. I'm Eve Nasby, and as promised, I have one of my most favorite people on the planet in studio with us today. Again, Maurice Wilson from Operation Reboot. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
You are a force to be contended with, my friend.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You have changed the lives of veterans, and you continue to do that every single day, day in and day out. So
well, somebody's got to do it.
And you're doing it. You're like a force of 10 just within your own self.
I love my work.
I know. You have done such a great work in building Reboot. So for our viewers who don't know who you are, what Reboot is, please give us the education.
So Reboot is it's the answer to boot camp. So when a person comes in the military, they go through boot camp to be enculturated for the military. But nobody undoes or reprograms them coming out. So that's what Reboot does, is helps them readjust their thinking, re-socializes them, helps them refocus on a new life after the military, in a nutshell.
Right, so they're in boot camp and they're getting yelled at and broken down mentally and physically and then rebuilt up, and then poof, they're out to get a civilian job someplace, but they're still carrying this mentality of being in the Marines or the Army or Air Force, whatever.
Well, you know, and an interesting point is that we have a current class going on right now. They have a Marine in there who's a Master Gunnery Sergeant, 30 years.
Wow.
And he was stuck in Marine Corps mode.
Yeah.
And he couldn't understand why his family just didn't warm up to him. I said, well, that's because they see you as the Master Gunnery. And they act accordingly. I said, if you change, they'll change. So he changed. He became a little bit more touchy-feely. And then the family became a little bit more touchy-feely. And then he started smiling. It's like, my family loves me again.
And that's what I mean, Maurice. Your program is not only teaching the veteran population of how to effectively transition, but it ripples out. You are saving families. And I've witnessed it at your graduations. Everybody I meet at your graduations, I want to hire because they're just quality and they know who they are and they know what they want to do.
Yeah, we call that the unintended benefit. You know, we didn't know that we were going to have such an impact. We knew it was going to change the individual, but we didn't realize that it was going to cascade out to the family. And, you know, when we did our first workshop, we had wives coming up, giving us big hugs, saying thank you. And we asked them, for what?
Right.
They said, you gave me my husband back.
Yep.
And all we could say was, wow.
So tell us about this class. Like, you can be just getting out, or you can have been out for 10 years. What do you offer me, and how much does it cost?
So it doesn't cost you anything. What we offer you is your life back, however you want that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be today, tomorrow, 10 years. It could be 20 years. I think I shared with you that in 2014, around February, we rebooted 20 Vietnam-era veterans in Detroit, Michigan, who had just been, they were all homeless. They had been stuck for many, many years, just couldn't figure out how to create a new identity, how to find and build a new life after the military. So they were just stuck, and we came in 3 weeks, they got it back.
Wow. And it's a 3-week program, and then when they exit, now you've got employers that are sitting there just waiting to hire these people. So talk about this readiness program that you have.
We call it Veterans Ready for Hire.
Yep.
And again, the big assumption is that all veterans, when they leave the military, they're ready to hit the ground running. Well, the desire is to hit the ground running. Perhaps even the need is to hit the ground running. But from a readiness perspective, roughly about 80% want to rebuild their careers.
80%.
So, of 200,000. So that's a large workforce. And so they have to go through a retraining process. And part of the retraining process is sort of like a two-step. One is we call it the soft skills, which is the one thing that employers are most desirable of, is the soft skills of the individuals. And then the hard skills. So they have to go through the hard skill retraining as well as the soft skills retraining, because the military spends 8 weeks on the soft skills development piece and then reinforces it during the military. So you do have to get a reboot when you get out.
Now, what about the veteran workforce development?
So that's one of my passions now. And so, again, I don't go under the assumption that every time a person takes off the uniform, they're ready to step into a civilian job. My belief is that whenever we take off the uniform, it's a process, which means that we have to analyze the market. We have to analyze what we want to do within the market and determine whether or not we have the right skills, the right qualifications or certifications, and whether or not we need to go back to school. So what we're finding is that a large percentage need to go back for hard skills training relative to the industry. And, so every city is different, so no two cities are going to be alike, which means that you have to analyze what's going on, what are the markets, where's the growth potential, and how do you develop yourself so you can fit back into the economy? Other than that, you may become another statistic that most people don't talk about, which is within the first year, about 53% of the veterans lose their jobs.
Wow. Why is that?
Because they haven't defined the next career. They're taking a job because it's a need. I gotta work.
Got it.
Not necessarily saying, I like this work or I want to work in this particular industry, in this particular career. So there's a big difference between what you have to do and really what you want to do.
Well, I think what you're producing is exceptionally gifted, rebranded, rebooted employees. And tell our viewers how the employers can get a hold of you. And then if you're a veteran and you're looking to become a part of this program, how can they get a hold of you?
It's very, very easy. So for the employers, just come to www.nvtsi.org.
NVTSI, got it.
National Veterans Transition Services Incorporated.
Got it.
They can call me on the phone. Can I give my cell number?
You can.
602-2577. You can call me directly. You can email me, maurice@nvtsi.org.
Okay.
It's that simple. Or we're now offering what we call monthly veteran-friendly employer lunches. And we're having a lot of fun there. Our first one we did last month, we had about 50 employers show up. It's big fun.
Yes.
And we learned a lot, they learned a lot, and it's all about connecting everybody, getting everybody on the same page, speaking the same language, understanding what they're dealing with, and then building bridges and looking at best practices.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Maurice. You are always a delight to have on the show. Thank you for the energy that you bring to us, and thank you how you are changing lives here in San Diego, one military person at a time.
Thank you so much.
For those of you who need assistance in transitioning out of the military, or maybe you've been out for a while and you still need help, please feel free to reach out to Maurice. His website's across the bottom of your screen. Feel free to call him as well. And if you're an employer looking to hire outstanding veteran talent, again, reach out to Maurice. He can help you. We'll be right back with more of Operation American Dream. Don't go away. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. As promised, we have one of my most favorite organizations in San Diego because they're working with kids and they're doing great things. We have Stacy Childs from Say San Diego. Stacy, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So tell us about Say San Diego and what you guys do.
Yeah, so I work for Social Advocates for Youth San Diego, say San Diego, and I coordinate a school-based family resource center on the campus of Sarah High School, and it is called Sarah Real Connections Healthy Start. And within that program, we provide a lot of student and family support services, as well as family and community engagement opportunities, and a lot of positive youth leadership development. And it's within that positive youth leadership development that we facilitate a club on campus that Melissa is involved in called Student to Student. And Student to Student is a club that was developed by the Military Child Education Coalition, and it is a model, chapter-based model that us and Sarah Real Connections, we facilitate at the school.
Wow. And so why is that important? Because I don't know that our viewers realize the transient nature of not only the families, but it includes the students. So talk about that need.
So at Sarah High School, we have around 1,800 students, and so we have a third of those students military connected.
Oh my goodness,
so
really?
throughout the school year, we'll get new students coming in, leaving. There's a lot of transition going on.
Wow.
So the club, Student to Student, really helps new students transition to their new school. So every time a new student enrolls at our school, they are matched with somebody like Melissa, and they go on a campus tour together. Typically, they eat lunch together for the first day or first week, and then they're encouraged to join our club. And we meet once a week in our center, and our center is really designed to create a safe, welcoming place where students can just join and get involved and really build positive connections on their first day of school.
Wow. Well, Melissa, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my father is a Marine, and so just in high school alone, I moved twice. I started my freshman and sophomore year at one school, and then I transitioned junior year into a different high school. And so at both schools, there was a student-to-student program. And for the first school, I was a significant member in founding it and establishing this club because I understood that in the community, there was a high need for students that needed to help transitioning into a new school. I lived in a military community, and so it was hard for the students to come in and understand like what to do and who to talk to and what to expect from the school. And so I felt that that need needed to be helped, and so my friends and I decided to help out with the club. And then so when I moved to Sarah, I realized that there was another club here, so I decided to get involved again and help out as best as I could.
And you are a senior.
Yes.
You're an incredible person. Like, what seniors in high school today have this mindset of, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to help you and bring you along, because I know what that struggle is like. I admire you. That's amazing. So how hard is it for you to be a military youth?
It's actually really hard. Every new place is a different experience. Like, you don't know, like a lot of the students that lived there previously and attend school in the same area know what to expect from the teachers. They have their friends, they have everyone they need to rely on already in the area. And so for military students like myself, it's hard because we don't know what the teachers are like. We don't know what to expect. We don't know the places to hang out in the neighborhoods. We don't know what cliques are already formed and who already has their friends. And so it's hard for us to come in and find the place that's ours.
And you feel like an outsider, right?
Yes.
And so without a tour guide, if you will, to come alongside of you and help, it could be really difficult. And so you probably, the students that don't benefit from that are probably feeling isolated and alone, and you sense that, and now you're reaching out and helping them. Did somebody do that for you when you were?
Kind of. I had a friend that I knew from 8th grade that already knew, like she already been to school previously there, and so she helped me like when we transitioned to high school find everyone that I needed to be friends with and understand like what the teachers are like and all that stuff. And so yeah, seeing that made me realize that I should help someone out the same way. Wow.
I think you guys are doing a little bit more than just showing kids around. I think you're probably saving lives, right? Because being a teenager is hard enough. I mean, come on. You've got hormones surging through your body. You've got the cliques and boys. Boys. No. So you've got all this stuff, and you're trying to figure out who you are as a person. And P.S., you're moving every few years, trying to make friends and leaving the friends that you've already made. So it's a really hard thing. But now you've gotten this thing under control, and now you're giving back to the community. So talk about what you're doing for Wounded Warriors at Balboa.
So on Monday and Tuesday, we made cards in the Sarah Real Connections Center during lunch. And then the club members came in from both elevated and student to student, and they made cards for the Wounded Warriors. And then on Wednesday, we had the 8th graders come into our school, and we set up a booth during lunch during our Club Rush event, and we had over 60 cards made all together throughout the days. And so some more were made today, and they're all going to be delivered tomorrow to the Wounded Warriors at Balboa.
Now, do you get to go to deliver them? No, you don't. I'll bet those men and women at that hospital would be so touched.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you're doing. How can we support you, Stacey, with Say San Diego?
I think just kind of spreading the word that, Say San Diego provides so many different programs and services for all families in San Diego, adults, children, communities. And so just really familiarizing yourself with the organization and kind of spreading the word that all Say San Diego does.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Melissa Sodas, thank you for being who you are. You're doing a great work. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a psychiatrist. I want to help out more people further beyond high school.
I'll be your first patient. Stacey, thanks all for all you're doing at Say San Diego. We'll be right back with more of Operation American Dream. Don't go away. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. As promised, we are in studio with my good friend Santiago Leon from Able to Disabled Advocacy. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Santiago, you've got a great organization, and I want the world to know about it because it's free for veterans, and that gets me excited because if it's free, it's for me. So tell us about Able to Disabled Advocacy and what you are doing. You've got a couple programs for veterans.
Well, Able Disabled Advocacy has two main programs for veterans. The first one is known as VetWorks. That's the one that I work under. And what we do is we help veterans who are looking to get a project management certification or to get certifications in IT anywhere from A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, and then those that would like just a little bit more assistance bolstering their administration backgrounds. So we have Microsoft Word, Excel, Access certifications.
Wow.
As you mentioned, our program is free, and it's not it requires a GI Bill free. No, it is completely covered.
Free.
Yes.
Right.
The grant that we were issued from the Employment Development Department covers the training, the cost of the certifications, as well as the job placement assistance that we offer.
Wow.
Now, the other program that we have is one of the first IT apprenticeship programs in California. It's known as Pathways to Paychecks. That, again, is directed for more IT work. So it is about an 18-month commitment, and for the first 6 months, it's all about training, getting the A+ as well as Security Plus certifications. After they've earned those certifications, then our organization connects them with an employer who guarantees them 800 hours of training.
Wow.
So it's not just working there, that employer will also assign them a mentor, and during that time, they can continue their training to get another 2 additional certifications. Now, we provide them once more the training for that, and at the end of that program, they will have a year of experience, 2 certifications, potentially 4, and the 2 major barriers to getting into the IT world being certifications and experience are going to be overcome.
You know, it's really interesting, Santiago. I was reading an article this morning that talked about the hottest industries right now, and guess what one of those is? IT.
Yes.
And so if you have the opportunity to get training for free into an industry that's not going away but is only going to expand and grow, why wouldn't you do that? Right?
Exactly that. And that's why our organization targeted those specific certifications. The big one right now is Security Plus. So we help them with that training, and again, we pay for those certifications. It doesn't require GI Bill. Now, in order to enroll, obviously, it's government money, so there are stipulations. If they've exited the military within the last 4 years, or if they have a service-connected disability, if they're unemployed, who have exhausted their unemployment insurance or on unemployment insurance, all of that allows them to be eligible to enroll.
That is fantastic. You know what? And I love what you're doing because you're giving hope to people who may have lost their hope.
Definitely.
They get out of the military and they can't find a job doing what they were doing before because they don't have the skills. They can't get into these other jobs in IT. And what you're offering them is this rope. Say, hold on to this. We're going to pull you in. We're going to give you the education and that you need to get a job. That program, Santiago, that does the internship program is worth gold because companies want to hire people with experience.
Definitely.
And how do you get experience if somebody won't hire you because you have none?
Exactly.
Right? So now you're training them and they have OJT, on the job experience. And at the end of the day, they've got a resume that sings.
Definitely. And that's why we're very proud of that Pathways to Paychecks program. Now, we do understand that sometimes that 18-month commitment can be a little daunting. So with the VetWorks program, we're able to, if they just need that Security Plus, or they need just that A+, they can come to us and we can give them that certification. And what we've found out is sometimes they'll start off by going to our program, getting that A+ certification, realizing, I really like this. And we just transfer them over to the apprenticeship program. Next thing you know, they have more certifications and they gain access to employers.
Wow. All right. Well, give us a good story of somebody that successfully navigated through your program.
All right. Well, one of the first people that we had a chance to work with was actually referred to us from a partner organization called Easter Seals.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yes.
John Funk.
Yes, John Funk.
Rock stars.
Love their team.
Yep.
Well, they had a client that was in a position that needed a little bit more assistance. So they referred them to us, and she went and got her Excel certification. Now, her background in the Navy was in purchasing. Well, with that Excel program, with that Excel certification, we're able to access the purchasing background from her Navy career,
Right.
the Excel spreadsheet program, and then we were able to find her position as a procurement specialist with a local organization.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and it was amazing because she was just truly dedicated to the program. Most of our training can be done online, but we do require them to come in a minimum of 1 day a week to make sure that they speak with the instructor and get a chance to ask any questions, make sure that they're on target with their training. And she came in about 3-4 days a week, spending 3 to 4 hours a day. And because it's self-paced, she got through the program very quickly, very attentive, listened to all the advice we gave her, and it was just a storybook ending to her.
I love it. Well, congratulations and thanks for all you're doing. And it seems like veterans are a natural match for that. They are self-motivated. They can be self-taught. They can think outside the box. And so it's a natural progression for them to become a part of your program.
Well, it's a word, trainable.
Yes.
I mean, in the military, we are constantly being trained to either with new systems or softwares. So going from one training to another, it's natural for us. And it was helpful for her.
That's excellent. Santiago Leon from Able to Disabled Advocacy. How can we get a hold of you and how can we support you in what you're doing?
Well, if you have veterans that are looking for training, you can always send them to us. They can either go to our website, which is www.able2work.org, or they can just email me directly at santiago@able, again, 2work.org, and we can bring in the candidates that way. And if you're an employer who are looking to hire or would like to be one of the apprentice program employers, once more, contact me and I'll direct you to the right people.
Excellent. Who wouldn't want to hire a veteran for all the reasons you just mentioned? I love it. Santiago Leon, Able to Disabled Advocacy, thanks for being a part of our show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And go Army.
Oh, go Army. Yes.
We'll be right back with more of Operation American Dream. Don't go away. Wow, what a great show we've had here on Operation American Dream. Say San Diego, Melissa, thanks for all you're doing for our wounded warriors at Balboa Hospital. Maurice Wilson, what can we say? He is a force to be contended with. And again, reach out to those guys at Reboot if you need help. And then also our food bank, please volunteer your time if you have the opportunity. If you're a corporation, go onto their website, do that virtual food bank donation. We need your help during this holiday season and throughout the year. Thank you for being a part of Operation American Dream. If you know of somebody that needs to be on our show, please go on our website, and that would be operationamericandream.tv. Tell us about your favorite veterans and those who are helping them here in the San Diego community. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday.